When a man hurts you, the first instinct is often to prove that you matter. You want him to see your tears, feel your pain, and recognize your worth. But what if I told you that reaction gives him the exact power he never earned? The one who hurt you may never apologize, may never understand the depth of your pain, and may never care, and that no longer matters. What matters now is that you understand how to transform pain into presence. The most powerful woman is not the one who yells, argues, or chases closure. The most powerful woman is the one who breathes through the chaos and remains calm in the storm. She feels her heartbreak but allows that same heartbeat to guide her back to stillness. Instead of demanding an apology, she builds a life so whole that his absence becomes irrelevant. You don't confuse him with drama. You confuse him with dignity. You don't get louder. You get still. You take back your power not by controlling his behavior, but by mastering your own energy. When you've been hurt, your natural reflex is to look outward, to seek reasons, justice, and understanding. The mind spins stories. Why did he do this? What did I do wrong? What does this say about me? But beneath the noise, there's a quieter question waiting to be heard. What is this pain trying to teach me? That is where transformation begins. Not in his explanation or apology, but in your willingness to listen to your own soul. Pain is not your identity. It's information, a messenger from your nervous system telling you something vital about where your energy needs to return. Most people mistake their emotions for truth, but emotions are only weather, they pass. The truth is the awareness that observes those emotions. The awareness that watches your breath shorten when he pulls away, that feels your chest tighten when promises are broken. That awareness is not broken, it is the sky above the storm, steady, infinite, untouchable. Once you begin to observe rather than identify, you begin the sacred work of self-mastery. There was a woman who lived with a man for 6 years. They shared everything, dreams, meals, silence. One day he left without warning, just a short message and a long silence. She spiraled, crying, overthinking, asking everyone for answers that never came. Until one day she stopped. She sat in her room and whispered to herself, "What am I feeling right now?" Her hands were cold, her jaw was tight, her breath shallow. For the first time, she saw that her suffering was not caused by his leaving. It was caused by her own interpretation of it. She started to observe her emotions like clouds passing through the sky. When anger rose, she didn't fight it. When sadness came, she allowed it to breathe. Slowly, her pain transformed from a wall into a window that showed her what she had ignored, what she had silenced, and what she truly needed. The man's actions no longer held her hostage, because she had learned how to read the message of pain without letting it define her. You see, pain is not the enemy. Pain is the teacher. It invites you back into your body. It asks you to stop abandoning yourself while waiting for someone else to see your worth. Neuroscience tells us that when we are hurt, the brain's alarm center, the amygdala, fires instantly, triggering the fight, flight, or freeze response. But we also have a higher power inside, the prefrontal cortex, the seat of reflection, choice, and control. Every time you pause, every time you take a deep breath instead of reacting, you shift power from your pain to your presence. Shallow breathing keeps you trapped in survival. Deep breathing sends a message of safety to your body. So when you are hurt, breathe as if you are already safe, because true safety cannot come from him. It must be generated from within. Each breath becomes a declaration. I choose to stay with myself. This is not a trick. It is a reclamation of your sovereignty. The one who hurt you may walk away without remorse, but the real question is not whether he regrets it. The real question is, have you returned to yourself? Can you sit in your own company without needing his validation to quiet the ache? That is power. That is healing. And when you reach that space, you confuse him, not with games, but with peace. He expected chaos, explanations, anger, begging, but instead, he finds stillness. He cannot read your silence because it speaks a language he doesn't understand. The silence becomes a mirror, reflecting his own emptiness back at him. You are no longer reacting, you are observing. You are no longer pleading, you are rising. This confuses not only him, but every version of yourself that once believed love had to be earned through suffering. To withdraw from pain does not mean to run away. There is another kind of withdrawal, one that is sacred. It is not an escape, but a return. a return to your body, your breath, and your peace. It looks like stepping back from explaining yourself to someone who refuses to listen. It looks like spending time alone, not as punishment, but as sanctuary. It looks like pulling your energy back from those who feed on your attention and letting it collect within you again. When you do this, you interrupt the emotional game he expected you to play. He thought you would chase. He thought you would crumble. Instead, you close your eyes and breathe. You let the space between you expand, not with resentment, but with reverence for your own peace. And in that sacred space, clarity is born. You were never supposed to convince him to care. You were supposed to care for yourself so deeply that his inconsistency no longer matters. One woman shared that her partner often disappeared emotionally for days, only to return as if nothing happened. Each time she tried harder, sent longer messages, cooked favorite meals, trying to fix what he kept breaking. But one day, she stopped. She didn't beg, she didn't explain. She simply withdrew, not to punish him, but to find herself again. She walked by the lake, wrote in her journal, listened to music, and moved freely. When he returned expecting the usual apology or emotional effort, he found silence instead. Her lack of reaction shattered the pattern. He was confused, not by her silence, but by her self-respect. This confusion was not manipulation, it was alignment. When you choose your center over his chaos, you speak a language of strength he cannot control. Your body is a compass. It tells you everything before your mind catches up. The tightness in your chest, the knot in your stomach, the flutter in your heart, these are not random sensations. They are messages. When someone hurts you, your body knows before your brain understands. Instead of ignoring it, listen, sit with it. Ask, what are you trying to show me? When you honor your body's wisdom, you turn pain into presence. In Eastern philosophy, there's a saying, return is the movement of the Tao. All things must return to their source. The river returns to the sea, the breath returns to stillness, and the soul must return to itself after heartbreak. This is not detachment, it is refinement. You are refining your attention, your energy, your love. You no longer chase the noise of validation, you rest in the quiet of truth. He may notice your silence. He may not. That is irrelevant. This journey was never about awakening his conscience. It was always about awakening your own. You are not healing from him. You are healing from every moment you forgot your own value. You are healing from every belief that told you to love harder instead of letting go. You confuse him not with rage, but with calm. You confuse him not by demanding to be chosen, but by choosing yourself. You confuse him not with new words, but with new energy. Because nothing is louder than a woman who is no longer available for disrespect. You may think silence means weakness, but silence is the loudest language of strength. When you stop reacting, you remove the emotional fuel he feeds on. He's used to chaos, arguments, tears, explanations. When you give none of that, he is left alone with his own behavior. That stillness is his mirror, and often that mirror is terrifying. Sacred non-reaction doesn't mean suppressing your emotions, it means elevating your response. It means refusing to match another's chaos with your peace. It means choosing grace when provoked. It means saying, I will not attend every battle I'm invited to. That is mastery. And when you set boundaries, you do not need to explain them. The more you explain, the more you invite negotiation. Real boundaries are energy, not words. You do not have to justify why you no longer respond instantly, why you need space, or why you stop showing up for someone who constantly lets you down. You are not rejecting them, you are protecting your peace. Your silence becomes your boundary, your absence becomes your message. When you pull back your emotional availability, the world adjusts. Some will rise to meet your energy, others will fall away. Let them. Absence teaches. It teaches him that your attention was never guaranteed, that your love was a privilege, not a right. But more importantly, it teaches you that your peace is priceless, that you are not here to beg for love. You are here to embody it. Sometimes walking away quietly is the loudest revolution. You don't do it to punish, you do it to preserve. You do it because the moment you stop betraying your own peace, you begin to live in truth. And that truth doesn't just heal, it transforms. When a man hurts you, the instinct may be to fight, to fix, or to prove your worth through noise and effort. But the deeper path, the path of wisdom, is paved with stillness. Withdraw not to escape, but to return to yourself. Speak less, observe more. Stop chasing clarity from those who thrive in confusion. Let your silence become sacred. Let your absence become your teacher. Let your energy speak the truth that your words no longer need to. This is not revenge, it is rebirth. This is not detachment, it is devotion to your own peace. And when you rise from that silence, you will realize something extraordinary. You never needed closure from him, because you are the closure. You never needed him to recognize your value, because you've already embodied it. Pain was never sent to destroy you, it was sent to awaken you. You are not the storm, you are the sky. You are not what was left, you are what remains unshaken. And as you breathe again, calm, grounded, alive, remember, he expected your pain to scream, but instead, it whispered truth. He expected you to break, but instead, you bloomed. He expected you to chase, but instead, you chose peace. My name is Shi Heng Yi, and this is your daily path to strength. Remember this truth. The most powerful revenge is not found in anger, it is found in elevation. When a man hurts you, confuse him not with emotion, but with evolution. Rise above his understanding, and he will never know how to follow. You are not defined by what he took. You are defined by what you found within yourself. And that is something no one can ever take away again. If this message touched your heart, take a deep breath and remind yourself that peace is your power. Type "I choose peace" in the comments to affirm your strength, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it today. Don't forget to subscribe to Daily Path to Strength, where every word is crafted to help you master your mind, protect your energy, and live with purpose. Stay still, stay powerful, and remember, the calmest one always wins.